Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Sports and Nonsense. We have quite a week to talk about in terms of football this past week for week 3 and the upcoming week 4. First things first is your boy took the lead in the pick'ems. And it happened exactly as I thought it would happen at when
Minnesota won, and I was just like, yay! And remember how I said that anytime I pick a team, just by pissing into the wind, they always blow out the other team.
It wasn't a blowout though, was it?
The 130. Hang on, let me try and use Google. This is a great time to see if this new laptop is worth the money I gave them for it. What week was it? Just week 3?
3, yeah.
All right, let me see.
I don't remember if it was a blowout.
30-17.
Oh, okay. So yeah, blowout. Yeah. So, but yeah, it happened exactly as I thought it would happen. With the 1 o'clock games being the decider.
The Patriots and
you picked the Patriots and the Giants.
Oh right, the fucking Giants.
Yeah. So, yep. So,
I've just decided that I can't pick them until they win. So at some point you're going to pick the Giants and I'm not going to, and they're going to win and you're going to get the pick. But
I looked at the Giants, or I saw the Giants schedule for the next 4 weeks, and it's not looking great.
No, but you know what the worst part is? We'll fucking win one of those games. And people would be like, "Yeah, the season is saved," and then you'll have me in the background, just like an old grumpy old man. No, it isn't. It's over. It was over before Halloween.
All right. So week 3, we had so Baltimore, Tennessee, the obvious ones: Baltimore, Tennessee, Buffalo, Cleveland, Arizona, and Denver, Las Vegas, Green Bay, and Dallas were all like the obvious ones that we both went yes on. To talk about some of those games, firstly, there was 2 records that were either set or tied this week in the NFL. The longest play in NFL history happened on a 109-yard field goal try return for a touchdown.
A kick 6, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess you could call it that, because it's not. It wasn't a kickoff. It wasn't a kickoff or a punt return. So,
that's what I'm calling it.
And it happened off of an attempt to break the NFL record for the longest field goal in the NFL, and it was a 68-yard field goal attempt by Matt Prater, who held the record previously. So he was trying to break his own record, and then Jacksonville decided to turn it into the record for the longest play in the NFL. So that was pretty cool to watch, and a lot of good blocking for that one. And then because that happened at the happened at the beginning of the 4th quarter. So right at the end of the 1 o'clock games, Baltimore is driving down, losing by 1, I think. We're down 1 or something, 2 or 1.
I don't know. I think they won. They needed that field goal to win. Yeah. So,
and old man Legatron, Justin Tucker, just they lined up for a 66-yard field goal to break the record, which was a 65-yard field goal set by Matt Prater. And,
you want to know the best part about that conversation is that on the sidelines, is it Jim Harbaugh or John? I think John. John Harbaugh looks at Justin Tucker and says, "Hey, can you make 66?" And Justin Tucker went, "Yeah, probably."
Yeah.
And he went out there and he beamed it.
He didn't really. He had the trajectory. Like, the kick was perfect down the dead center of
it hit the crossbar,
goal,
didn't it?
But it hit the crossbar. So an inch too short, he misses that kick, and it bounced off the crossbar and out. But it kicked on the crossbar and bounced up into the net. It was one of the most impressive kicks I've seen. Yeah. And just because of that, it hit the crossbar. And I have a question about about that. If you are the Lions, and it's kind of perfect that it just happens to the Lions, because like this
ain't
it's just a perfect storm.
Ain't no kneecaps getting bit over there right now.
So if like a cornerback or a wide receiver lines up like on the goal end line, like where the field goal is,
yep,
and it hits the crossbar, but the player tries to jump and swat it away, is it like goaltending in like basketball where like it counts?
I think that would count as a blocked kick. It technically, wouldn't it?
Because there are players that can reach the top of the goalpost.
Yeah.
So like,
just barely though. You're not talking like they're gonna be able to like Montumbo it down. Like it's gonna be like just a fingertip away.
They can try to fingertip it like to one side or the other, but like nobody was down there. So like, why wouldn't you have someone down there? I mean, you're not gonna think that it's gonna like hit the goalpost, but like and go up and in. But like, why not
be trying to block down
there?
Why not have send 11 guys out there to watch to see if we can do it? Like
build a ladder of people.
Yeah, just get on my shoulders, Jamie.
Does that can you do that? Can you stand on someone else's shoulders in a football game and like catch a football?
I want to say there's no rule saying you can't. Like
I don't think there's a rule saying that you can't do that. So
hang on, I gotta Google an oddly specific thing right now for no particular reason.
Can you stand on your teammate's shoulders in football?
Can you stand on your teammate's shoulder?
Because you can't push off a defender.
Football.
Like when you're going to block a kick, you can't jump over the defender and touch them.
You know what? I think you can, because how often have we seen a lineman literally just carry a running back into the end zone?
Yeah.
I mean, that's. Hang on. I gotta accept cookies. Hang on. Oh, I'm getting mixed reviews. Ironically, this question is also about if players were to create a ladder to block a kick.
Just a ladder of players.
Oh wait, this is the wrong football.
Oh,
hang on. I guess you can't do that in soccer either.
Mm-hmm.
Let me hang on. Oh, let's see. This is asking. Hang on. Let me see if I can. American. I'll just add the word American. I'm curious because I don't think I don't think it says you can't. Is there a specific rule preventing the NFL player from lifting a teammate, holding the ball, and catapulting them into the end zone? Would that count? Is that in the same?
That counts. I would think.
Yes, Rule 12, Article 4. No offensive player may pull a runner in any direction at any time, use interlocking interference by grasping a teammate, or by using his hands or arms to encircle the body of a teammate in an effort to block an opponent, or push or throw his body against the teammate to aid him in an attempt. I mean, that happens all the fucking time, but
yeah. Could you imagine though, just like that field goal, and then you got two Lions down in the end zone, and like one of them's got like his hands like this, like near his like, knees, and then the other one he just pushes him upwards to try to get him some lift, and then he blocks the kick. It was crazy. That'd have been crazy. Oh,
here it is. This is an opponent though. It says no defensive player in an attempt to gain an advantage may step, jump, or stand on an opponent. But what if it's not an opponent? What if it's your buddy? What if it's your teammate? Like, I say let them. If you're going to make a human ladder and you can see a bunch of grown men just wobbling back and forth along the goal. Yeah, I mean, you can't leap over. Yeah, I mean, this is college. This one's a college example, though. So in college, you can't like leap over a defensive lineman as a linebacker to block a kick. You can't like use them as like a table, But that's college. Doesn't say anything about the NFL in particular. I'm gonna say with no, you can't do that. But I would love to see. I would love to see it happen. I mean, even if you did it and you succeeded, I think the ref should just give it to you. I mean, you know how hard that would be to just get that perfect, because you can't like run along the goal line with somebody on your shoulders. You wouldn't. It's just not possible.
Right.
So if you happen to be standing on the right spot, or if you have the time to make that ladder, like as the ball's in the air, give it to him. I say give it to him. Make it like baseball. If you can bring the ball back in the field, then who cares? Yeah. Live ball.
The other big game from this past week was Kansas City is currently last in the division in the first 3 weeks of the season, with
they'll be fine.
2 teams being 3-0 with Las Vegas and Denver, and Chargers.
First of all, Denver is a fraud. Maybe try over that last week. Maybe try and beat a team whose combined record isn't 0-9. No, Denver will get their just desserts shortly. Las Vegas looks pretty good, but again, I Kansas City will be fine. Not worried about Kansas City. So, and frankly, I don't think they're worried about themselves either. They're just like, whatever.
They may be fine, but the Chargers are going to put up a fight for the division.
I can see them as one of the wild card teams for sure.
Who, the Chargers?
Yeah, for sure.
I think they could win the division.
It depends. There's a lot of season left.
If they beat Kansas City again and they win 12 games or something, or 11
Herbert's
games.
Good, man. I like Herbert.
He's a good team. And they got 2 weapons in Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. And then the defense looks pretty good too.
It's only week 3. We still have a lot of injuries to happen still, so we'll see what happens.
Let's see.
But I think Chargers are definitely making the playoffs.
And then you've got the Giants, who lost on a last-second field goal by Atlanta, that Rich doesn't want to talk about because he went on a Facebook rant earlier this past week after it happened.
I'm all ranted out now.
Yeah. And then what else was there? Yeah, Denver's 3-0 because they beat 3 teams with a combined record of 0-9.
Well, one of my friends is a Broncos fan. He's like, this is legit. This is our year. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I commented, I was like, which, so in terms of your opponents, who have they beat? I say, don't worry, I'll wait. And then I'm thinking about commenting. I'm thinking about setting an alarm on my phone to re-comment on it again Sunday morning. Just feel like still waiting.
The other game that was this past week that was noteworthy is that the Rams are a Super Bowl contender.
They're good.
That team looks good.
Matt Stafford is just as good as we thought he was, but with a better team, he's good.
With a better team,
because Jared Goff's in Detroit now, and he's throwing up stinkers. So,
and Jared Goff is just as we thought he was.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he had one or 2 good years under McVay, but he was never McVay's boy. I mean, Matt Stafford's not McVay's boy either, but Matt Stafford will get the job done for him. Matt Stafford's good. He was always he was always a good enough quarterback. He just had no team around him.
Yeah.
What's he supposed to do? But he's getting old too. Speaking of Atlanta, we're going to talk about Atlanta for a minute. I saw a video of Matt Ryan warming up. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen him I didn't look at him from the Super Bowl a few years ago, but I still pictured him as this young looking kid. That man looks old. He is not aged like Tom Brady. He aged like milk.
Yeah.
He's just getting chunky, not like fat, but you know what I mean? He's aging like milk.
Aged like fine wine or
ice. Tom Brady's aging like a fine wine that we're going to open up in 60 years and we're, drinking in front of a fireplace with a dead bear as a rug. But Matt Ryan looks like he left the milk out on the counter overnight.
And then so we move into week 4, and there is news that came out of ESPN today out of Tampa Bay, which is that Richard Sherman has signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to shore up their backfield.
Of course he did.
Did you not know that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. So
no, it's not Carson Wentz injury news, so I didn't know about it.
What?
It's not Carson Wentz injury news, so I didn't know about
it. So I don't know the whole story behind Richard Sherman and what happened with him, but he says he got arrested.
Yeah, he was you see the video?
No.
Oh, you got to watch the video, dude. I don't want to say brutal, but it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing, Richard?
He says that his arrest led to some, quote, really positive changes.
I mean, maybe it's the push he needed, but yeah, he was like, I mean, to say banging on the door and yelling some threats and some bad, naughty words, that somebody's kind of an understatement. He was, holy crap. Like, all I'm saying, listen, you bang on my door like that, we live in the sticks. You bang on my door like that, I'm not even opening it. Like, there's just lead coming through it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, if it, you know what, if he didn't hurt anybody and it helped him change, then good for him, I guess. I can appreciate that he's not like saying, oh, it's false. Like, he's like, yeah, I did it. Like, but I mean, good for him, I guess.
And it looks like he's going to be on the field this week because apparently he got on a cross-country flight from Seattle, landed in Tampa around 9:30 last night, and he was at the team facility before 6:30 this morning for COVID testing, underwent a physical, and signed his contract by 10:50 and was in full pads and practicing.
Well,
so the one thing that the Patriots had to try to beat the Bucs this week was to try to
but it's Richard Sherman.
Their bad.
It's Richard Sherman right now. Backs. It's not Richard Sherman from 2014.
Yeah, but you never know.
Richard Sherman
it definitely
on
helps
his third
them.
team.
He definitely helps.
Yeah, but I don't think it helps as much as some people are making it out to seem. Also, I mean, you think they're going to put him out there for 66 snaps?
No, but that was like the one thing that the Patriots had to try, because like they're not going to get past the Patriots are not going to get past that defensive line in the run game is too good, and then they're obviously going like their offensive line, or their defense. The Patriots defensive line is not good right now, so Brady's just going to torch them all night. So the one thing that we had to try to beat Tom Brady at home was to try to get those defensive backs.
That's a sentence that's just weird. Still.
So, and I don't know if it's going to happen now. So,
I mean, was it going to happen before?
No, but there was hope, and now there's no hope.
There was no way. I mean, I don't think you're going to win this game, but I wouldn't just throw in the towel. You never know. I mean, they lost last week, and we thought they were going to lose a game this year. So
I'm interested to see how many people in my pick'em league just pick New England to win this game.
See,
because all but
is that the one at your mom's work?
Yeah, but 3 people picked New England last week, and I was one of the 3 people that didn't pick New England because I'm like, there's no way we're beating that New Orleans defense. And I was right. I'm curious to see how many of these homers pick New England to try. They're gonna beat Tampa Bay. Like
because half of them aren't really Patriot fans. They're just Tom Brady fans. They don't really know anything about the team before 2001. What was I gonna say? I am surprised you guys lost New Orleans in the manner and the point differential that you did. I figured if you lost, it would at least be closer. I don't know. I don't know your team like you know your team, but I just expected a better game.
Our lines are bad. Like the O line is bad. The Mac Jones was getting pressured all game, and they weren't even blitzing. Like they weren't even blitzing, and Mac Jones was getting pressured.
If you can get pressure without blitzing, you're winning that game.
And then our defensive line is terrible, and our front 7 is bad because they have one good player on offense. It's Alvin Kamara. All you have to do is stop Alvin Kamara. You stop the whole game because Jameis Winston is not going to beat you. Like you just have to stop Alvin Kamara and Jameis Winston will fuck up. And then you leave Alvin Kamara wide open in the middle of the field for a 7-yard touchdown. Like it's the one guy you have to stop and you're not stopping him.
Yeah. Well, like I said last week, I mean, players got to play, right?
So,
I just remember there was a time when you couldn't run up the middle on the Patriots. It wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. The same thing with the Giants. There's a time when you just couldn't run to the Giants at all. Forget about it. There was no way. There was no way. But now here we are, both of us sitting on the non-playoff team couch. Just listen, there's an indent from where I've been sitting for the last 10 years. So you start making your own. My time has come.
Welcome to the couch.
Welcome to the couch. Stay a while. It's going to be a hot minute.
Yep. I was 1 win away from winning the pool this week.
That's a bummer.
I know. I was in the lead until Seattle lost the lead.
There was a week when I worked there where I didn't play because I didn't have the money to bet. But I was telling one of the coworkers there, I was like, hey, you should pick so and so, so and so, and so and so. And he was like, why? I was like, just do it. I bet you they'll win. And he's like, oh, no way. And he lost. And had he picked the teams that I told him to pick, he would have won by like that margin, like the four. And I just turned my chair around and I went,
yeah.
I was still playing fantasy like religiously, so I just knew everything about these effing players.
If Seattle or Tampa Bay wins last week, I win the pool.
Yeah, well, they didn't win.
They did not.
One thing I maybe you could shed some light on, and I'm going to be the one to bring them up, because I just don't understand the logic behind it, and I've heard it multiple times from multiple people. Thank you. I'll be back. Okay, thank you. My lovely wife just brought me Wendy's for those of you who are listening and not watching.
It's a Thursday night ritual.
Yeah,
or Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. It's a recording night.
Yeah,
ritual.
whenever we record, I am recording. Can I get me a Windows? I've heard it multiple times, and I just don't understand the logic, because when you play with emotion, you tend to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady is not immune to that, because when you see him get very frazzled and very aggravated, that's when he tends to throw an interception, like any other quarterback. So people were saying, oh, Tom Brady's coming into England now because they lost. He's coming into England pissed off now. And I'm like, I don't think he gives a shit. Personally speaking, like, I don't think he cares. I think he's like, yeah, it's week 4. I'm gonna play to win.
Like I said last week, his dad and his best friend were on Boston sports radio and talking to Boston reporters about how he feels vindicated now that he's won the Super Bowl without Bill Belichick.
So that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, I don't think he gives a shit anymore, guys. He won a Super Bowl.
And then Tom Brady goes on a podcast and basically tells the interviewer, I had a talk with my dad, and I told him if he says anything else like that, I'm gonna put him in a home. So I was like, damn. Man.
I will say one thing that happened when he left New England is he was able to be funny.
Oh, it's great.
Like it's the same thing. It's the same thing with.
He's finally able to let loose and able to just like.
It's the same thing with Eli. Like now that Eli's not on the Giants anymore, and he's not like associated with he's not playing. He can do whatever he wants. What are they gonna do? Fine him? He don't care.
Did you see him dancing on TV the other night?
Do you see him give the bird on national television?
I did see that.
Awesome. They're both hysterical.
Yeah. Was that on purpose or was that accident? Like
no, he was showing like
a slip of the finger.
He was showing like what 8-year-olds in Philadelphia would do when the Giants hit the field.
Oh shit! Really? I only saw the video. I didn't hear the audio.
They were talking about the how vicious those animals in Philadelphia are.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that, and then he was dancing on national TV like Dak Prescott does, with his little hip flexes. Although Eli doesn't do it quite as well.
Well, it's easy to make fun of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only way I watch football now. On Monday nights is I watch the Manning show on ESPN2, and it's fantastic.
I've heard mixed reviews. Like I've heard some people say it's great. I heard people say that they turn it off after like an hour because it gets annoying.
I mean, I kind of like it. It's pretty good. You get to actually see some emotion out of. I think you froze like halfway through that. Your face was just like this. You kind of look like Belichick under a hoodie. But what was I saying? Oh, you get to see some emotion out of some people. Like they're actually just watching the game, and so like one of the core, like I don't remember who played. It was Hurts. Or Hurts threw an interception to the Cowboys, and like you just see the emotion on Peyton Manning's face, like, oh no, you can't do that. Unlike like regular announcers who have to be unbiased and like.
I think the best moment I've heard them do was, I think it was week 1, but it was a Raiders game, and Peyton Manning said, "I'm going to predict the Raiders, like win-loss right now." And Eli's like, "Okay, go ahead." And he threw a pass, and it was like a really bad pass. Like it was like behind the guy. and goes 3-14. Anyway,
no, the best was 2 weeks ago in week 2 when they were talking about the Patriots, when they were talking to Gronkowski and they were talking about the Patriots bugging the locker room. Like, like so it's like yeah, man, we have to talk in the shower. We can't talk. Don't come to me and talk to my locker because I'm pretty sure there's bugs in the locker room.
Yeah, it's like a undercover cop. Like, oh, hey, explain all that to me over by that lamp over there.
Yeah,
you know.
Another signing this week, since we got on the topic of new signings with new teams, is Josh Gordon's been reinstated and he's currently signed with the Chiefs, as if the Chiefs needed another wide receiver threat.
I mean, he's only going to play for like 3 more weeks, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Oh, before he gets suspended again. Yeah. So oh, hello.
I mean, God love him. You know, if he's clean, it's great. You know, but like, how many times are we going to do this, Josh? You know.
Mm-hmm. So, so finally this week we have the Brady's magnificent return and final return to Gillette Stadium. How do you think? We talked about it last week, but how do you think?
Sure did.
It's gonna what?
We sure did.
Yeah. How do you think it's gonna go this upcoming week, this Sunday night game, with the fans, between Brady and Belichick?
Oh, now my time.
Yeah.
I didn't go fine. Again, it's not like Brady didn't leave for the Jets. You know, like it's a out of conference team. It's not like
no, but he didn't leave on great terms.
No, he didn't.
That's new.
You see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Both at the same time. All right. So
we got 9 minutes left. So that's new. That's never happened before.
I think because I came in as a remember I came in twice, and I think because I might still be counting it as a third person.
Maybe, yeah. So all right. Well, this episode's going to be a little shorter than
anyway. I'll talk
episodes.
Fast. Yeah, he didn't live on great terms, but like I said in my TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll get more applause than boos. I think there'll be boos for sure. And I think when he beats you guys, you'll have half the fan base to be like, I always loved Brady. The other half will be like, fuck Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. Like I said, that TikTok that I made, which I thought was beautifully edited, by the way. Thank you.
Is there going to be a handshake between
Belichick
and Brady?
There should be. And whoever does,
there should be. Yes,
and whoever doesn't do it is going to get lambasted. I don't care which one it is. If Belichick does it, then he's a bitch. If Brady does it, then he's a bitch.
I think Brady will do it because I think Brady's going to win this game. If Brady doesn't win this game, he might not do it.
Then he's a bitch.
Yeah. But
same thing with Gronk. The same thing with Gronk. If Gronk doesn't go and shake Belichick's hand, then he's a bitch.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's going to happen with that. There's a book coming out on October 12th. It's being written by Seth Wickersham. It's called "It's Better to Be Feared," and it basically just goes over everything that happened between the Patriots, the Crafts, Belichick, Brady. And I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to buy it and I'm probably going to read it.
Sounds like it could be good.
A lot of stuff that's going to be in there. Like I'll give you some of the highlights. It's other findings in it is about the 2008 league meetings. Belichick and then New York Jets head coach Eric Mangini nearly had a fist fight after Spygate.
Made of questions.
After Spygate and during U.S. Senator Arlen Specter's inquiry into whether the Patriots have videotaped St. Louis walk through practice before Super Bowl 36. The Rams coach Mike Martz believed that New England had also videotaped the Rams practices during the week. During Spygate, the Broncos then head coach Mike Shanahan backed Belichick and told Goodell that he wished he had videotaped signals and was disappointed for not thinking of cheating methods himself. There's a lot of stuff in this book. And yeah, I'm interested. I'm going to read it.
I've forgotten about the whole Spygate thing. I'm so far away from it. I just totally forgot about it.
It goes into Deflategate.
Now that I 100% believe happened, but again, part of that game. I don't think that Tom Brady's the only quarterback to ever do that.
Yeah, it goes
by no means.
Oh yeah, no, it goes. Yeah, if it goes into Deflategate, it goes into the negotiation of the 2011 collective bargaining agreement, which apparently some team owners tried to negotiate the 2011 collective bargaining agreement with the union chief DeMaurice Smith at Myra Kraft's funeral. Not the place, guys. Like,
hey, listen, I know we're burying somebody here, but have you thought about the budget?
Yeah. So, so I'm interested to read this book, and I'm going to read it, when it comes out in a couple of weeks. So, anyway, we got like 6 minutes left, so let's roll through the upcoming games for this week, and we can include the Thursday night game since we are picking before the Thursday night game comes out. So let's do it. To start off, the Thursday night game this week is the Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. I think I have that right. Hang on, let me find it. Oh, if I can get to the right thing. There we go. Yeah, Jacksonville at Cincinnati.
I got Bengals.
I got Bengals. So
they just finished off the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, right. Tennessee is visiting the Jets.
Titans.
Same, Tennessee. I don't think the New York teams are going to win a game this year.
No.
Kansas City is visiting Philadelphia. I got KC.
Yeah. I mean, it was a similar week this week, I think.
The undefeated Carolina Panthers are visiting the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys. I hate it with the Dallas Cowboys.
The New York Giants are visiting New Orleans, and I think they're playing in New Orleans finally.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Cleveland is visiting Minnesota.
It's a good game in theory, but I'm gonna go with Cleveland.
I am also going with Cleveland.
Could be a good game though. Now if Minnesota wins,
Detroit.
If Minnesota wins, they're worth talking about being for real.
Detroit is at Chicago.
It's a tough one. It was a chair. At Chicago, they both had a tough loss last week. Justin Fields looked awful.
The Chicago had a net 46 yards all game. Justin Tucker kicked a longer field goal than how many yards Chicago had.
Oh my God, you're right. He did. Pretty quickly too. He surpassed them.
a lot of kickers last week had more yards.
He surpassed them pretty quick in that kick too. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chicago. Have a turnaround game.
All right, I'm going Detroit. So that's one.
I'm not happy about it.
Houston's at Buffalo.
Buffalo.
I got Buffalo. Indianapolis is at Miami.
Carson Wentz's ankles still. Are they still hurt? I'll go with Indy.
I got Indy too.
No, you know what? You know what? I'll take Miami to be different.
MIA. Washington's at Atlanta for the final 1:00 game.
Washington.
I got Atlanta. Atlanta's turning it around after their narrow win against the Giants. And Washington had a really bad loss last week. Arizona for the 4:00 game. Seattle is at San Francisco.
That's a good game. I'm gonna take
two good games in the NFC West this week. I got San Francisco.
Yeah. Is that San Fran?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take them too.
Arizona's at the Rams. Sorry.
Well, that's a good game too.
I told you there's two good games in NFC West.
I'm gonna go with the Rams.
I also got the Rams. And then Pittsburgh is at Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I've also got
I've lost all faith in Pittsburgh this year.
Baltimore is at Denver.
Baltimore.
also got Baltimore, and the Raiders are visiting the. That's a Sunday night game, Tampa Bay at New England, and then the Monday night game is the Raiders visiting the Chargers. I've also got.
That make the Chargers 4-0?
That will not. It will make them 3-1.
They lost the first week. Last one. Okay.
Oh, they lost against Dallas in the second week.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. To a really close game. They should be 3-0, but they are not. So we differ on 3 again, and it's all in the 1 o'clock window. So
seems to be a pattern.
Well, I mean, the majority of the games are in the 1 o'clock window. So, actually, I think, is the Washington Atlanta game a London game?
I don't think so. They would have said, I think.
I saw something. We got a minute left, and I saw something on here that said.
I mean, it's about that time of the season, so I guess it could be. But with COVID, I would think they're not doing that.
Atlanta Falcons go all Ted Lasso and Believe ahead of London game. The Atlanta Falcons turned a little bit of Atlanta's October 10th game against the New York Jets will be contested at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So next week, not this week. All right, we got less than a minute to go. I'm just going to wrap this up really quick. Each week, you can listen to Sports and Nonsense on the Spotify, iTunes, or CastboxFM apps, or you could watch the video version on the Name Pending Productions YouTube channel. Do you have anything else before we wrap up?
Nope, that's it.
Cool. So hopefully next week we'll be able to go a little bit longer because Rich had a little issues getting into this, but we'll talk to you all next week.